Welcome to the Money Tip Podcast presented by Fully Funded Life. My name is Joe Sengel, and I am fired up on this Monday to help you take relevant right now steps to really make transitions in your finances. Today, we're going to talk about a really good topic, and my co-host, Megan Hibbard, is going to tell you what that topic is.
Yes.
Are you fired up?
Fired up.
Tell them what the topic is.
Yes. Our topic for today, for episode number 305.
305.
You can believe it, is undercover.
Undercover.
Nope.
It's undercover.
It's undercover. Uncover.
Sneaky.
Wind it back. Welcome to Monday. Uncover the hidden cost of debt.
Yes. Maybe it's the undercover cost of debt. Might be the better.
I just wanted to rename the episode.
There we go. Uncover the hidden cost of debt. If you think of it, if you're undercover, you're hiding in plain sight.
I was just ahead.
You know what undercover is? You're hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
Like an undercover cop is there. They're just undercover. So maybe these are undercover cost of debt, or we're going to uncover the hidden cost of debt. We're going to expose them to the daylight. Yeah. And I think it's really important that we talk about this topic on a Monday because most people listening to the podcast are trying to eliminate debt.
Right.
They have debt. They have credit card debt, student loan debt, car debt. Maybe the car they're driving as they listen to us has financing. And we get accustomed to debt and debt payments. When people have a car payment, they're just used to paying that every month. When they have a house payment, they're used to paying that every month. When you have a credit card payment and you don't pay it off every month, there's kind of a payment that people settle on that they can pay each month, and they hope that it was less than they charged the previous month, so at least the balance goes down a little bit. But what they don't realize when they get stuck in this repetitiveness of making payments is that it's costing them way more than just money. Right. So that's what we want to talk about.
Yeah.
And anything else you wanted to talk about as we introduce this subject?
No, I mean, I think it's a super interesting topic that you don't necessarily talk about a lot. I mean, most people just assume, well, I have debt, it's just debt. And just, like you're saying, like it is what it is.
I'm working to pay it off.
But you don't really think about the back end of it.
Yeah. There is a back end of it.
Consequences. And a lot of times we talk about, here are the benefits of becoming debt free, which is, those are huge. But this is kind of the flip of it.
It is the flip of it. And I wanted to talk about this also just in the context of a commercial that's been really popular lately. I don't know what the likelihood is that we can include it, but if we can, our producer extraordinaire, director, executive producer is going to put it in here of a NerdWallet commercial that's happening right now. And it's this older couple, and they're like, one of them, I think, has got a walker, and they're talking about these things. They're singing about bad decisions they made earlier in life. And they're like, they sing together at the end. Don't make the future you hate you. And that's really what they're saying is there's this cost. And I didn't understand that I was mortgaging, so to speak, my future because of decision-making I'm making today.
Right.
So don't make your future you hate the current you. And so let's talk about some hidden cost of debt.
Yep.
And we kind of got 2 or 3 or 4. We'll see how far we can get.
5 or 6.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. Let's go with the first one.
All right. The first one is joy cost.
Yeah, there's a joy cost. There's a cost to joy. Like when you have a lot of debt, we know about financial stress. We know that's a cost, is we're going to have stress. But it comes at the expense of joy. Like it can rob you of joy. I mean, we have people that we meet at live events. We have people that email in, and we just encounter others just in our daily life where they have cost. In fact, right as I was preparing this episode, I was on Facebook. And this lady was ranting. Yep. A Christ follower who was including a lot of expletives in this post. And she was ranting about some fence that her neighbor decided to put up and said, hey, you're responsible for half the bill. And she's like, I told them when they approached me about it, I didn't have the money. And now they're coming to tell me that it's not even that much. It's double that amount. And I told them I couldn't have paid the first amount. And I was sitting there thinking about how much joylessness she's experiencing because it is good neighborly relations sometimes if you both want a fence, put that up. Now, my neighbor wanted a fence. I did not necessarily want a fence. I don't know what that means, but they're like, "Hey, the cost is this," and I'm like, I don't really want a fence. Mm-mm. Well, they're like, okay, so they just put up a fence.
Yeah,
that's great. But we had a good, clear understanding. Apparently, they didn't get a clear understanding. But I was just seeing she's seething publicly on Facebook, like a lot of people do. But it's just the joy is gone. Yeah. I want joy to be there. And when you have debt, no matter what that is, it can be a rob of joy.
Yeah.
Anything comes to mind as you think about that?
I mean, I think a lot of people have had debt for so long. Like maybe you're in your 50s and you're still paying student loan debt, and you don't even realize for these last 20 or 30 years that it's just been a part of your everyday life. Yeah. And you just don't even remember what it was like pre-debt.
To have freedom of debt. I get to help churches build facilities and raise money for those facilities through Enjoy Stewardship Solutions. And I've just seen pastors who the church was completely debt-free, and then they got real excited because of growth or whatever, and they built a building, and it was actually way too much debt. Okay. And the joy, I literally have seen over the course of years or decades, and we actually get brought in on the back end of these, because I am cautioning anybody who's taking on debt to build a building, hey, make sure you don't take too much debt, because you don't want to rob your church of the ability to do the actual thing you're there to do, right, which is ministry. And so I've seen joy be stripped away from them.
And the hard thing is, like, in that situation, that is a good, like, they're wanting to do a good thing. Yeah, they're wanting to
do a good thing for the community.
Yeah. And so maybe even, like, you have debt, and obviously there's 4 different kinds of debt. We can talk about those later. But, like, maybe it wasn't necessarily a bad or a terrible type of debt, maybe it was.
Yeah, maybe it was a house.
Yeah, but it still has this cost to it.
It robs you. And if it's robbing you of joy, hey, is that a hidden cost of any of your debts? Even I like that point, even with what would be perceived as good debts by those people. Mm-hmm. So we got another one that we wanted to talk about.
All right, so our next one is the dream cost.
Yeah. We don't have to talk a lot about this.
Kind of blends a little bit.
It blends with it, but it costs you the ability to dream.
Right.
When I challenge people to write down their plans, hopes, and dreams, there's several groups of people, but one of the largest group is those who are like, dreams? I can't afford to dream. Mm. Like, okay, I want to pay off my debt. I just buried in debt. Well, that is a dream.
Yeah.
But we're really talking about the cost of bigger dreams, of experiences, of things you can provide for your family, that dream cost.
Yeah.
And it really goes right into the next one, which is opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Opportunity cost is an economic principle. I'm not using it this way. It's really a lot of times when you sign up for debt, when you go buy that truck and you have that $1,000 a month payment, when you have that car, you're paying that average payment of nearly $700 a month. When you have that credit card that you're paying on and paying 27% interest, you don't even understand the opportunities that could be right in front of you that you will not see, because your indebtedness robs you of the ability to see it.
Yeah. I feel like, this one, the opportunity and the dream cost kind of for this story go kind of hand in hand. So my husband and I actually went on a date last night, which is hard when you have 3 kids.
You just left the kids at home?
They just left them for themselves? They're good. No, my in-laws are in town. So they watched the kids and we went out, which was nice. We didn't have to pay for a babysitter.
That's awesome.
Also a lot. But at dinner, we're celebrating 10 years of our anniversary next year. So we spent the night like dreaming about where we want to go, what we want to do. And like, I want to do a trip. And so it was, we were able to have that conversation because we've positioned ourselves. Okay, we're a year out, a little more than that. Like, let's start planning, like figuring out what we want to do, where we want to go. But we're able to have that conversation.
And you have no debt except for the house.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of that,
so that
we're able to
have
these
opportunity to dream.
Right.
Love it. So where are you guys going? Do you know?
I don't know. I want to go.
I'm going to guess it has a beach involved.
It does.
Okay.
But our kids are still really young, so I want to stay on this side of the world.
Yes.
Eventually, we're going to travel back over, but so somewhere Caribbean-ish.
Love it.
Somewhere down there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In 10 years already.
Yeah.
1 year from now. Yeah. That's amazing.
Wild.
It's amazing. The last one that I wanted to just share quickly is the cost that you can't help others. I see it happen. I see it being posted on Facebook. I see it on social media, on people saying, somebody so-and-so, my brother came over and they needed some help. And I told them, I got enough problems of myself. I can't help you. Or they want to be able to help their neighbor. But if you have a pile of debt, it can literally rob you of the ability to help others. And those costs of debt, that cost of being able to be generous or gratitude, the cost of joy, the cost of your dreams, or the cost of even pouncing on an investment or opportunity, those costs are some pretty high costs.
Yeah. We have a generosity challenge that we do through Fully Funded Life, but we talk about the benefits of generosity and like what it does for you as a person, and not being able to do that, you're robbing yourself of that joy and that, I don't know, I feel like it's almost like endorphins that come in when you're able to help somebody else.
It really is. I once had a friend, he was kind of jaded, and he's an engineer and he's a thinker, and he said, giving is one of the most greedy things and selfish things a human could ever do. I'm like, what? And he said, well, why do you give? I'm like, oh, because it makes me feel good. It's not. And it's like, see, you're doing it because I'm, and I had to stop and think and say, it's kind of a stunning thought.
You're just kind of glad.
But I just encourage every one of you that listen to the podcast, sometimes we talk about topics that are very practical. Do this, step 1 through 4. This is the practical step I want you to take today while you're running, while you're out for a walk, while you're listening to this with your children on the way to school, driving in your car, whatever it is that you're listening to the podcast. I want you to think about, if you have debt, or if you know others in your family, your friends group that have debt, are they paying this price, these costs, and it's costing them? And this is one reason why I just really encourage people to become debt free as soon as possible, so that you're not paying that severe price, that penalty. You can do this and live your fully funded life. We really hope that you'll join us next Monday. We're going to be talking about something that's really fun. We're going to talk about bad retirement advice. Some bad retirement advice that we're going to want you to avoid. It's going to be great. We'll see you next Monday. Hey everybody, Joe Sangl here. Thanks so much for watching this video. Hey, I encourage you to click the links that are provided to watch a lot of more helpful content that'll help you live your fully funded life. Thanks for being a part of our community.